All right. So we have a question here from Tabasco. It says, for my video, what do flags on notes mean? He responds like this. He says, how do I know when to play a tie on a guitar that I'm learning from a book? And it came to a section that teaches you how to play a tie, but he doesn't understand it. Okay, you got to think of the tie as being, what do you call it? As being like a plus. Oh, by the way, let me show the chat behind. I'm sorry. You got to think of the chat behind. Wow, Saxy Cole, I haven't seen you in a minute. You have to think of the tie as being a plus sign, okay? So if you have two quarter notes and there's a tie right here, okay? This quarter note obviously gets one beat. This quarter note gets another beat, right? But that when you see the tie, what it's telling you is that you're playing it one beat plus an additional beat. So you're actually going to play these chord notes combined for a total of 2 beats. So if you see a note, an eighth note tied to a chord note, you know, and maybe tied to another half note or something, because maybe there's a measure there, I don't know. This is telling you to play for 2 beats, plus 1 beat, plus a half beat. It's telling you to play for 3.5 beats. You just hold out for 3.5 beats. It's the same as having a dotted chord note tied to an eighth note. Okay? And that's how ties work. Just that simple. Now, there's a difference though. You have 2 things. You have that if a note is 3, 4, 5, if a note is the same on the same line, and there's a tie, and there's a line right here, that's a tie. If the note rather is on a different line, and the line goes down, okay, then what this is that this is called a slur. And slurs are not ties. They have nothing to do with ties. Slurs are ties are when you hold the note out. Slurs are when you literally have the note played higher or lower through legato, and that can either be through hammer-ons and pull-offs. Pull-offs are when they're lower. Hammer-ons are when they're higher, and legato means to play smooth. So you play it smooth. You make it an overlapping, very smooth effect. Not so much of a staccato, but a legato, connected. Okay, so that's what that is. I hope that answers your question. I hope that answers a lot of your questions, everyone's. That's a great question.